Well, good morning, afternoon, evening, middle of the night, from wherever you are watching. Thank you for joining us to learn more about the College of Idaho here in Caldwell, Idaho. If you're watching right now, you're watching live. We are going to post this video to YouTube a little bit later on for some on-demand viewing, but thank you for your interest in our college, and we hope that this next hour you're going to learn a lot about the school. Sometimes people will ask us, well, who is the College of Idaho? Well, we like to tell them this. We are an inclusive community of exceptional learning that challenges the ambitious and forges pathways to success and purpose. There's a reason why this school is ranked #1 in the nation in social mobility, because we successfully graduate students and we are accessible for students of economic disadvantage means to come here, and we graduate them better than anybody else in the nation. So we want you to know about that and many other things that we have here. We're also really about face-to-face interactions, which have been sort of few and far between over the last 15 months, but we've been doing our very best to build a community or keep our community strong, be it through these virtual means or whenever we can be within distance from each other. But fortunately, we are coming out, hopefully, on the back end side of this pandemic. And by the time you arrive here in the fall, or coming up at the end of August for ready for classes in September, that things will be as normal as possible like they were before the pandemic. We have nearly 20, we're scheduled, we have 20 countries represented on this particular event right now, which is amazing. As we had an event a year ago in April that had the same number of countries. Some of the countries represented are Colombia, France, Senegal, Nepal, China, Lebanon, the Philippines. As I was making that list, I was just kind of going around the hemispheres in the globe saying, from everywhere. Well, that's also quite representative of the College of Idaho. We have students from everywhere. We have more than 90 countries represented on this campus. We like to call it the most diverse 55 acres in all of Idaho. And we hope to be seeing you here soon because we want you here. We want you part of what we call the Yote Fam community, which is a very tight-knit, close community here on campus. What does Yote Fam mean? Yote is short for our mascot. Our athletic mascot is the coyote, and then fam is short for family. And it's a term that was coined a little more than a decade ago and has really stuck and been embraced by our students, our faculty, our staff, people associated with the college. The Yote Fam is strong and remains that way even through a pandemic, and we want you to be one of that as well. You're also going to learn about Peak and what that is all about. 1 major, 3 minors in 4 years. It's taken that liberal arts core education and marched it into the 21st century, and is a way to help you be as diverse as possible when you leave this place to pursue those passions, those pathways of success and purpose. Transfer students, we'd want you here as well, and we hope that when you get here, by the time you leave here, it'd be, wow, man, I wish I'd have been there all 4 years, but you'll enjoy the time, even if it's less than that, that you would join us here. Most of you are already deposited. If you're not, we would really encourage you to do so. Registrations for classes are coming up very, very shortly, so we don't want you to miss out on any of that. Classes will be beginning on September 1st with move-in day coming in towards the end of August, almost a month or 2 months from today right now. So we hope that you will get that taken care of as well. Here's an interesting tidbit about the College of Idaho. Not only are we #1 in the nation in social mobility, we're #1 in the nation in co-presidents. We're the only school in the nation that has co-presidents, and they are Doug Brigham and Jim Everett. And they have this message for you.
Hi, I'm Jim Everett.
And hi, I'm Doug Brigham, and we are better known as Jim and Doug for those of you that come to campus. And part of why we say that is we are a very small, close-knit campus and a small, close-knit family, and that's part of what we think you're going to love about being at the College of Idaho. We like to say that if you want to hide, this probably isn't the place for you, because people are going to find you. They're going to make sure you're getting all the support and help that you need to succeed.
While we're a small campus, we're also a place that has a global mindset. You'll find more than 93 different countries represented on this campus. We think we'll have at least 20 different countries represented on this call today. That is such a great advantage for everyone. We think it's probably the biggest advantage to our domestic students that may have not had the opportunity to travel the world. You're going to hear different perspectives and different stories from all over the world. And to have our international students on this campus, thank you for choosing the College of Idaho. We look forward to meeting you when you get here this fall.
Another thing we're really proud of is that we're #1 in the entire country for social mobility. And what does that mean? That means we bring students in and we launch them into a higher trajectory than they would have found otherwise, whether it's a passion that they're after or a career.
I can tell you, we are eagerly awaiting August when our students arrive. We can hardly wait to greet you on that first day and move-in day. And we look forward to having you here. Go Yotes!
And we welcome you back. We are on 55 acres in Caldwell, Idaho. Most of us like to think it's the most beautiful 55 acres in Caldwell as well. There's always things happening during the school year and beyond that will keep you occupied and busy. But we also get the question, well, what else is there to do in Caldwell, Idaho? Well, the college has a very close relationship with the city and the administrators and the mayor and the rodeo grounds nearby and the downtown. So there's plenty to explore in Caldwell and beyond. And we welcome you back to Caldwell and the College of Idaho campus. We're coming to you from the Cruz and Murray Library, which is one of our newer buildings on campus. We're on the middle floor of the 3 floors that are here. This beautiful library is just one of the academic and even social sort of hubs of this campus, and it was opened in 2018. And when you get here, it'll be it stands out. It's a beautiful, beautiful building. If you miss any of this presentation, or that you want to play something back that you didn't quite catch, maybe an answer that you didn't quite get, we will be adding this to the college's YouTube channel when it is all finished. The name of our YouTube channel is Go Yotes. We also have a link to that on the college's webpage at collegeofidaho.edu. All right, you've heard plenty from me. We have 3 excellent panelists here who know so much more about the college than, by the way, I didn't even introduce myself. My name is Joe Hughes. I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications at the college. Yeah, it's my job to talk about the college. And all these 3 wonderful people have joined us to give you their insight at the College of Idaho. First, over on your left would be Linda Danielson, who's a professor of mathematics and computer science. She is also class of 1989. And starting here in a little bit, she's going to be an associate dean in academic affairs. Linda, what would you like to mention to the folks watching right now?
Well, I'm so excited that you're here today. Thanks for watching. And this is I've finished 26 years teaching here at the College of Idaho, a place that I love. I love the students here, and I look forward to meeting all of you in the fall.
She's got that extra insight of being an alum, knowing what to be like a student, and then she's been graduating alumni here for decades now. So Linda, thanks for joining us.
Joe.
Right here in the center is Diana Cook. Diana is a senior this coming year. She's double majoring in marketing and digital media. That's one major. The other one is art and design. That sounds like 4 majors to me, Diana, by the way. And also her minors are in human biology and Asian studies. She's a lead ambassador with the admissions group. She's been a musician on campus, a heritage scholar, a Gibson Honors Program person. What am I missing? Do you juggle? Are you really good at cards?
I can make the origami jumping frogs. But anyways, to everybody here, super excited to have you join us. I am really looking forward to meeting you guys in the fall. So please take care, stay healthy till then, and we'll see you then.
One of the benefits of being able to do these virtually is we can reach out to a lot of folks who have not been able to come onto campus. Diana leads some of the best tours if you've ever been, if you ever get the opportunity to do that before you come here. But we're happy that we do have a virtual tour that you can take as well, a walking video tour with one of our excellent students as well. All right, last and certainly not least is Justin Waldron right here on your right. First year experience director, so you'd be working with him quite a bit through that first year. He's also a residence life director and class of 2004. Justin, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Oops, sorry. I am so happy to be here with you. Looking forward to meeting you in the fall and continuing to work on some housing assignments for people. If you haven't received that yet, you'll get that soon, I promise.
Yeah, they worked very hard making sure that that first year experience and beyond is just a very memorable one that you'll be able to start meeting all the fantastic people that you're going to get to know who will likely be lifelong friends for you here. If you have questions that you would like to send in to us at the panel that we could potentially read on here, you would need to send them to an email address, admission@collegeofidaho.edu. So it's admission@collegeofidaho.edu. Send us some questions there, and we have staff who are following that, and then we can potentially get that into the panelists. But we do have some pre-submitted questions that we will be getting to as well. And so let's not delay. Let's get right to it. Actually, our first one is going to go to our superstar senior right here, Diana. Diana, the question actually comes from a student in the Congo. Paule wants to know, what is it like to be a first-year student at the College of Idaho?
Well, that is a great first question, great opener. Basically, when you are a first-year student here at the college, we kind of expect that you're present here. There are a lot of different opportunities for you to be involved as a student. A lot of people here are doing a ton of different things. So really, we're just trying to get you involved in the community. To be like a first-year student is to kind of get a feel for who you want to be, what you want to do. You really meet some really cool people around here on campus. Really good food, great times, a lot of different campus events. We also do have a first-year experience that is available to all of our first-year students. So that will be hopefully a really good bonding opportunity for you when you come in here. Basically, it's just to get you acquainted with just what it is to be in the Yote Fam community, as well as to, get you knowing who else you're going to be with while you're here at the College of Idaho. But yeah, definitely, I think it's just getting acquainted with the College of Idaho, not being afraid to engage in, maybe you've been interested in something before, but you're not sure if you've wanted to do it. Here is really just I think first year is really a good time to try a lot of firsts and just see, what you might be interested in, try a lot of different things. really just get a feel for the experience. So I hope that was an adequate answer. A little bit hard just because there's so much that you do in your first year. But again, great first question.
First question, first year. Yeah, there's lots of exploratory time when you're here at the school, and to find out things that you're interested in that you maybe even never knew that you were interested in the first place. All right, our second question is going to go to Justin. And Justin, feel free to add on to the first, since you lead that first year experience on campus as well. But this question comes from Singapore, and it's Rakheb. Will we have a figure similar to a house parent in a boarding house, someone we can run to for emergency purposes?
So yes, Rakheb, nice to hear your question. Thank you. We do have in each of our residence halls a hall director and a team of RAs, and these are students and professional staff that take on that role of making sure that the community is safe, and that the community is growing and strong and supportive of each other. So if there is an emergency, we do also have campus safety available on campus, and it's really a team to make sure that everyone is taken care of, feels safe, and is supported. So there are trained students, trained professionals. They don't take on necessarily like the maternal or paternal role, but they are certainly a figure that you can look up to, someone that's going to model behavior for you to be successful as a student, and in your interactions with each other. So the residence halls are a place outside of the classroom where a lot of learning continues to happen, and we do a lot of programming, and these staff members are also preparing and creating that environment for you as well.
Justin, just quick follow-up. One of the questions one of the things that the co-presidents mentioned was that the College of Idaho, if we're small, it's 1,100 students. If you're looking for a place to go hide, a school where you're just going to mix in and no one's going to notice you, this is not that place. Can you just talk about that a little bit? People are going to know you here.
Sure. So everyone here, it's not going to take long for you to start being able to recognize your neighbors, your floor mates, and then other people in other buildings. People are going to get to know you, and you're going to have an established place and identity in this community. It's not uncommon for me to, in case someone may unfortunately sleep in a little bit late on the day of an exam, to get a phone call from a faculty member to check in, and we'll actually go to your room, knock on the door, make sure you're okay, and get you to class so you can take your test on time. That kind of interaction and care is something that's a hallmark of a small school like this.
That's excellent. All right, next question. This is going to go to whoever wants to answer, but we'll start with Linda. Linda, we'll send this to you. What advice do you have for first-year students?
Oh, great question. So from the faculty perspective, my advice would be to go to class, number one. Show up for your exams on time. I have made calls to Justin before to find students who have inadvertently overslept for an exam, and he's been very helpful in making sure they do arrive just only a few minutes late. Mainly going to class, utilizing all of the resources we have made available to you for your success. So make sure you understand that syllabus that your professor gives you the first day. Go to office hours with the faculty member that we provide 4 office hours a week, which you should attend if you have questions. We have a tutor center. Academic Support Center provides student tutoring, peer mentor tutoring for most subjects, especially for my area, mathematics. Great students can help you succeed that first year in your courses in mathematics, computer science, statistics. What else for faculty? Go to class. Did I say that? All right, that's my advice. I'm not sure what Diana has.
Great, Diana. How about from the student perspective?
Definitely, this is a very overarching answer, and I'll explain a little bit more, but try not to be shy. And of course, that's not easy for everybody, but this is really the time, for you as a student to really explore, as I mentioned earlier, what you want to do. So check out different clubs, maybe even start a club. Super easy to do, by the way. Don't be shy and ask your professors if you need help, because they're pretty accessible. They have office hours, and chances are if you're struggling with something, they will take the time to actually help you understand what's going on. just don't be shy to reach out and kind of make those connections. You know, if you need somebody to study with, you can ask your seatmate, be like, hey dude, you want to go to like the library, this library later and study? I need a little bit of help. And then boom, you make friends. It's really hard to constantly like remind yourself to like, I gotta get out of the room, but really like don't hold yourself up in your room. And again, it's not possible for everybody to be super extroverted, but at least, you know, try and take those steps and get out of the room, go to different clubs, go to different events that we have on campus. Just really, you know, this is the time, really. So do anything that you're interested in, and something that will be good for you in the long run.
Great, Diana. I'm gonna say after this last year, I'm guessing there's going to be plenty of people who are sick and tired of being holed up in their rooms. They want to get out and see people. But one thing that I remember Marty Hawley, our special assistant to the president, former athletic director here, told me that has always stuck with me was that the College of Idaho, it's a rigorous school. It's really difficult to get straight A's at this school, but it's also really difficult to fail because of all these support systems that they have. Justin, you work with so many first-year students. What would be one of your top things for them to know?
I would just echo the advice of reaching out to folks if you need a little bit of help, and also get involved. Get involved with programs, get involved with activities. There are so many ways on this campus to get involved, and if they don't exist, you have an opportunity to create the club or bring it to our campus. Our RAs, as I mentioned before, are doing programs. There's clubs and athletics. There's events to attend. There's something going on this campus all the time. If you ever are just, you know, looking for something to do, just walk into a building, look at a calendar. All of our residence halls have calendars that show events that we're hosting. There's always something going on. So reach out to folks and just get involved as much as you can.
We have plenty more questions coming up that have been submitted already. If you would like to submit a question, please do. Submit it to admission@collegeofidaho.edu. Again, that's admission@collegeofidaho.edu. And we've got a few other Q&A segments that are still to come. But first, we want to introduce you to a student who just recently graduated from here. Many of you might be thinking, well, why would I go so far away from home, if you are far away from home, to come here? And why would I make that move to this place out in Idaho? Well, we want you to hear from someone who did just that, who moved from another state here to the college. She just graduated just this last spring, and why she considers the College of Idaho her second home.
When I'm talking to prospective students, I think that they can definitely see the passion that I have for the College of Idaho and how much I truly do love it. Yes, there's ups and downs. Yes, classes are sometimes really hard. Sometimes you don't have the best semester, the best month, the best whatever. But no matter what, I wake up in the morning saying, I get to go to the College of Idaho every single day. I love this place with my entire being. So as much as it's sad being away from my own family, and even though I miss them so much every single day, I also have a family up here that I could not imagine that I would be the person I am today without the people I've met at the College of Idaho. Everyone on campus cares about your success and seeing you grow and seeing you turn into a leader especially. There's so many leadership opportunities on campus. I have learned about myself and about how much of a voice I truly do have. I'm not just a girl in the background. I'm Madison. I have my own opinions. I have knowledge that some people might not have. And that knowledge should be shared, and that knowledge should be heard, and my opinion should be heard. Just because I have the College of Idaho on my bio, I've gotten so many more connections. It's alumni, it's faculty that I might not know very well, but they want to be connected to me in order to help me in the future. And it's just amazing to see, even though we're such a small college, how much influence we have. The college gives so many different opportunities for students to grow and to learn and to become leaders in their communities and the world in general. I came on this campus and I automatically felt at home. I will always call the College of Idaho my second home.
And I should mention that Madison had a great internship while she was here, and before she even graduated this last spring, she was already employed by that company where she did the internship. That's not a unique story. That happens here all the time. In fact, one of my interns had that happen to her just a year before that. So anyway, that is something that happens quite often. You will have a high impact practice, some sort of internship, some sort of ability like that to have some sort of high impact experience while you are here, and it often leads to your next opportunity, whether that would be graduate school or an internship or a paid position as your job and career goes on. All right, let's get back to our panelists here. This next question actually comes to Linda. How does a peak education, which is of course one major, 3 minors in 4 years, prepare me for the real world in ways other curricula don't?
Oh, that's a great question. And it's complicated, but I'll try to answer it as best I can, perhaps from my experience with our students and watching them graduate and become alumni. So the peak curriculum, 1 major and 3 minors, really prepares you to think about the world in different and unique ways. And I would say that what I've noticed is students use their major typically initially. So that's kind of the short term from the College of Idaho. They go off and they often get a job or go to graduate school in an area quite related to their major, was what I've noticed. But they have those minors which inform their way of thinking and perhaps their passions. And I've noticed several students, in fact, I had students that graduate with a math major and perhaps a theater minor. They go off and do things that are more related in their minors, perhaps go into an area of theater, keeping their mathematics, their logical thinking, of course, is still useful. But I've enjoyed watching them go into areas for bioinformatics, for example. I have another student that was a computer science major, and the little tiny bit of biology that the student took at the College of Idaho was interesting, and the chemistry the student was able to bring all that together and go on and earn a PhD in a field called bioinformatics, a very interdisciplinary kind of liberal arts area, and he does cancer research now. So I think it prepares you for life in the short term and in the long term, being able to think about the world in many, many different ways and pursue multiple passions, keep you happy.
Great answer, Linda. And that peak program is, that major and 3 minors is built into it, but also 4 years. It's like you're not going to have to stick around here for 6 years to get that done. This college is great at getting students through that program, through the curriculum in 4 years, so you're getting on with the rest of your life after your 4 years of undergraduate. All right, we have another question that came in from the Congo, from Paul A. again. This one is going to Diana, because you are most recent, I'm sure, with this. How's the food at the College of Idaho?
I love food. I'm verifiably like a foodie, so hopefully, you get it honest and straight. I love the food here. There is a ton. We're hopefully going to be resuming normal in dining buffet style, because recently it's just been to go. But I'm horrible at lists, so very sorry if I repeat anything. But there's a grill, a deli, a pizza pasta section, a salad bar, comfort, like a home cooked option that changes lunch and dinner, a global option that changes daily. If you're really not feeling anything, there's also cereal. You can make yourself a PB&J. And there's always a really good dessert bar and 6 different ice cream or dairy-free alternatives that are in that area. We have a bunch of different vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free options as well. If there's something that you really want, you can also request for it to be made by our catering service, which is really exciting. I had a friend who really liked gluten-free oatmeal raisin cookies, so she would always request it, and they ended up making it all the time. So if you're really craving for something, you can get that requested. But again, verifiably a foodie. The variety is really good, so you don't just do the same thing over and over and over again. I highly recommend grabbing something from the global area. If you're an international student as well, and maybe you're missing something from home, you can also request for that to be made. Will it be exactly as it was at home? Maybe not, but it might be a little bit comforting. But yeah, can't go wrong with chicken tenders. We have an Impossible Burger, which is like the vegan burger. That is actually very, very delicious. So highly recommend you try that when you're here. But yeah, there is a lot of variety, so it's really hard to get tired of the CAF food. So yeah.
Oh, great, Diane. We may have found another minor for you. She's minoring in food as well. So my last name's Cook. Last name is Cook. Good, great point. All right, let's send this next question over to Linda. Linda, what are office hours for?
Oh, office hours. I mentioned those earlier. Faculty hold 4 office hours on 4 different days during the week for students in their classes, or advisors, or past students, or alumni. Anyone can come back for the office hours. And we invite you to come and ask questions about the class that you're in. Perhaps you have a particular question from class. Maybe you want some advice on an internship opportunity, or maybe you just want to come talk and say hi. We love those as well. So those are drop-in hours. You don't have to make an appointment. We are available. Sometimes faculty hold those in their offices. Sometimes, for example, we might have them at the Boone table, which is the table in the foyer of Boone Hall. They might be held in the library sometimes, maybe over in the CAF. So faculty will let you know. It'll be advertised where they are, and please drop in. And one thing we do in the math department, which maybe other departments do as well, we encourage students to come together. So perhaps you're working on a group project in class, come to office hours together, and we have kind of a little area for you to work on a problem in a group. We will give you some hints, nudges, get you started, and then you guys can work together and solve your problems. So office
Great.
hours.
Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
Your top-notch office hours from Linda Danielson. Let's go over to Justin, because Justin eats and breathes this next question here. What are ways to get involved outside of the classroom?
Like I mentioned before, learning happens outside of the classroom just as much as it does inside of the classroom, and that's through your interaction with your peers, through student involvement, like club membership or activities, athletics, are all different ways that you can get involved. Another way that you can get involved outside of the classroom and also interact with faculty is through our Brain Food program, which is it's a fun weekly event that happens in the residence halls, where we invite faculty to come in, and we have one rule, which is you can talk about anything but what you teach. So we like to get our faculty to engage with students about things that are their passion projects. Like we've had people come in and play a banjo and their guitar and talk about ultramarathon running. We had a kind of a historiography of like clown culture once when a movie came out. We have all kinds of different interests that our faculty share and bring in to communicate with our students. So like I said, just look around, talk to someone, meet someone new, find out what they're interested in, and you'll certainly be occupied and busy outside of the classroom time. You should also come hang out in this library and study too.
All right, great, Justin. Thank you. Let's head back to Linda for this next one. Linda, what sort of opportunities for independent study and mentorship are available? And I get the sense that it's hard to find a student here who hasn't had those opportunities than the ones who do, because everybody is getting those types of opportunities.
That's true, Joe. There are lots of opportunities for internships and research at the College of Idaho. In my division, I belong to the Mathematics and Science division. We have research that's going on with the faculty on campus. It happens throughout the school year and in the summer as well. And the way that you get started with that is you talk to the faculty members. It's that easy. You express your interest, and if they are aware of your interest, they'll be able to hopefully plug you in within the next few years, and you can take part in their on-campus research. For internships, we have the CEL, the Center for Experiential Learning, sure helps with that, and our new HIPS division helps with that, high impact practices. And also the faculty, we are aware of internships, so we all kind of work together. And when we become made aware of an opportunity within the community that's either local or perhaps it's virtual, we immediately seek out students that we know might be a good fit for that internship and encourage them to apply. So any area that you're interested in. For you, though, your job would be to express interest in a certain internship or research experience with either the faculty member teaching that, your faculty advisor, or with the staff members in the CEL or in the HIPS division.
Great, thank you, Linda. Well, we've already heard from a student who just recently graduated, and we've got another one that we want you to hear from, but she's much closer to actually where you are in the process right now. In fact, this freshman only has one semester under her belt right now, and like many of you viewing right now, she comes to us from another country.
My home before coming here to the College of Idaho was Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Addis Ababa is the capital city. College of Idaho stood out because it had a marketing and digital media major, which really interested me. And within the college, I liked all the vibes that they were using, the videos online and everything. And also as a state, how Idaho was with less population, more nature, despite everything that we went through as a community here, the support that we've gotten from you, the faculty and students that were already here, it kind of shows promise that this college is going to be a place that's going to be full of good memories and experiences. Once I got here, I settled in, and I didn't have everything to settle in with. I didn't have a blanket or bed sheets. I needed to buy those, but also I didn't need to buy those anymore because the college gave it to me for free. There were packets that were set to welcoming packets for students like me. Coming from a challenging place, that was something that was like really nice, and it made me see the college in a whole different impression, and I was really excited and really felt welcomed to be at the college. So for a student that is considering coming to the College of Idaho, I would definitely say that the College of Idaho is really good in first and foremost giving a good financial aid package. Also specifically for the College of Idaho here, it is a small knit community here at the college. The fact that it was a small college gave me more opportunity to show my interests. I would say the College of Idaho is a school to consider to go to finish your undergraduate studies.
And welcome back to our live portion of the presentation. Again, if you have a question that you would like posed to our panel, just send it via email to admission@collegeofidaho.edu. And we've got this next segment, and then maybe a little bit more coming up toward the end. We're trying to get everything done here within an hour for you, so you can find out everything. But we do have some other questions that we would like to get to you, including this next one to Diana, because I think when you've got 3 minors that you're going to select to go through the PEAK program, might be kind of difficult to pick which one. What if you're unsure of what areas interest you? How did you help pick your 3 minors, or 2 and 2 majors? Yeah.
Gotcha. So my marketing and digital media major actually covers 2 of those peaks, which explains why I only have 2 minors. I chose art and design along with that because I really like art. So just to explain that a little bit more, there are a lot of students who also fall into the same category of, maybe their major branches over 2 peaks, so they only have to take like 1 or 2, or maybe they just want to add more onto their plate because it's something they're passionate about. So you might have someone who's double majoring and also minoring in 3 different things. Just depends on what you want to do. But basically, to be very candid, I am not like a natural sciences person, like at all. Like I don't really like math, sorry. I wanted to avoid like chemistry and physics and everything like that. But the thing is, there's a lot of variety within each of the peaks. So there's normally, like if you go through what I ended up doing, so I ended up choosing human bio, is I went through the catalog, like the undergraduate catalog for the year, and I looked at the minors for the specific peak that, maybe I wasn't like super passionate about or super interested in. And if you just go through like the required classes for it, because it lists everything that you can possibly take for that minor, there's bound to be at least like something that you're like, okay, that kind of sounds interesting. So for me, I chose human bio because some of the some of the classes that I could take for it were like, I took biology of human disease, which was super interesting. I actually learned about the Spanish flu in that class, and my professor was like, yeah, something like that. It's probably going to happen soon, maybe. Wouldn't be surprising. That was a year before COVID, so you learned some very valuable things. But yeah, typically, you know, there's at least something in there where you're like, okay, this sounds like kind of cool, at least a little bit, or, you know, maybe I can bear with this and bear through this. But what you'll tend to find is, you know, there are some really surprising things. I was just talking about it with Dr. Danielson next to me. But you'd really be surprised, typically in spaces where you're like, okay, well, I'll just test the waters because this doesn't sound too bad. It ends up being something super rewarding and actually like very interesting. So yeah, definitely it takes a little bit of your own research. I'm sure you could also like talk to advisors or people within the peak, professors within the peak. But I'm sure with the variety that we have in the catalog that's ever changing, you can find something that works for you.
Great. Diana, thank you. Let's send this next question over to Linda. Linda, what are the advantages of going to a college like the College of Idaho, which there's only one, but what's an advantage or two that you'd like to mention?
Oh, there are so many advantages going to College of Idaho. I would say one is obviously our size, is the smallness of our college allows for students to be involved in so many things on campus. That's what I tell my advisees. You're at a small college. If you want to be involved in student government, you don't have to be a government or a political economy major to be involved in student government. You don't have to be a music major to be involved in the musical opportunities at the college. You can be in an ensemble. You can be in a theater production if you would like to. Whatever you want to do, you just try out, and you are invited to join on those activities. So that is a tremendous advantage. Another advantage to specifically the College of Idaho that I see is we are a community of learners, and that is so important here. I do not see competition amongst my students. We don't encourage that at all. We discourage competing for the top grade. We actually encourage students to learn together. Students all learn individually, unique learners, and working together, experiencing how everyone else views certain situations or problems or solves problems, helps all of us. It just enriches our learning together. So we are a community of learners. I see students helping each other daily, on a daily basis in all of my classes, and it's so amazing. The College of Idaho is top-notch when it comes to learning together.
Let's go from one alum to another alum, since you had that unique experience of having gone through the college for 4 years as well. Justin, what's an advantage that you see from going to a college like the College of Idaho?
Yeah, I will echo the size. The college really was attractive to me when I attended because it was small. I came from a really small rural area, and the idea of going to a larger college was kind of overwhelming to me, and I felt immediately at home when I visited the college, and that just continued to grow through the time I spent here. Also, the friendships and experiences that you have at this place in our community are lifelong. You're going to meet friends that will continue. I'm about 20 years out of my experience at the college, and people that I met on my orientation trip are still people that I connect with on a weekly basis. Like, we just check in with each other. So that kind of relationship is something to look forward to here, taking advantage of meeting people that are going to leave a mark on you.
Great, Justin, that's awesome. Diana, this next question for you. The question is, how can I best take advantage of my time spent at the C of I, which I think is kind of interesting because I was showing you what I had written down about some of your biographical information, and one of the things in there was like musician, but you're not doing that currently, but it doesn't matter. You've done so many different things to where you almost have to sort of limit it as well because you've branched out and tried so many different items.
Yeah, it's just kind of going back to like what I said earlier. I feel like it is so important, especially here. And of course, I think the other panelists have also touched on this as well. But you really it's motivating yourself to get out of your room and try what you want to try. I think, it's better to have done something and then regret it than to not do something and then spend the rest of your time here being like, man, I should have gone, I should have done that, I should have been in that club. Yeah, just basically better to do something and then be like, not my cup of tea, than to spend time thinking like, well, what would it be like if I had actually done that? What would it be like if I had declared that double major? What would it be like if I had switched that major that, maybe I started feeling on as I was like halfway through it? It's really just, going with like your gut feeling, like what you want to do. And of course, like I've been stressing this a lot in my answers, but it's really just doing things that you want to be passionate about and something that you care about, as opposed to, like maybe what your parents want you to do or, what your friends want you to do. It's really something that is meant to benefit you. So really just go out there and do things that you want to do, because it will be really, really beneficial for you in the long run. And if faculty or fellow students are giving you pushes to do things, maybe follow those pushes. I'm doing a lot of things because people were like, Diana, I think you would be capable of this. I was not really very like self-confident in myself when I first came here. But now I lead tours. I'm going to be the senior lead ambassador. Like there are a lot of opportunities that I've taken just because I've received a lot of really good external pushes. So, if other people out there have faith in you, follow their intuition as well. But stay true to yourself, if that makes sense. That's very cliche of me to say, but do what you want.
Let's start this next question. I want to hear from all three of you for this one, but we'll start with Linda and work our way down the line here, because I saw this question. I was like, I have no idea what your answers are going to be. But the question was, what's the most surprising thing you've learned about C of I students, or a surprising thing that you've learned about a C of I student?
Surprising thing. Wow, that's a good question. A surprising thing about C of I students in general, or a student?
I think, however you want to do it. I mean, I just heard Justin talk about a guy who was, or a gal who was talking about clowns, the history of clowns in one of their sessions. So.
Well, I can think of a recent particular student that surprised me, a kind of a computer science major student. In general, math students, CS students were a little bit more introverted, although we do have a math club, and it's huge. We have the biggest event on campus, I would say.
Pi Day?
Pi Day, yes, Pi Day. But I remember going to the opera production a couple of years ago and seeing this freshman CS student up there on stage singing a solo, and it just made me think, of course, I'm at the College of Idaho. Why wouldn't my student be up there singing and not have told me that he was in this production? It was awesome. So I'm always surprised by my students who participate in, I guess, opportunities here on campus, extracurricular things. I love going to the athletic events and being surprised at how good my students are at those sports. Yeah, so It's super fun.
Same question to you, Diana. Surprising thing you've learned about a C of I student or students?
In general, I think I just kind of echo the sentiment. We have people involved in like a lot of different things. So then whenever somebody is like, oh yeah, I also do this, I'm like, what? Like, there's just a lot of different talents that people have, a lot of different involvements that people have. I think, it's hard to like, I'm sure I have this like weekly where I'm like, wait, you do what? I don't know. It's hard to think of a specific instance, but I know it happens very frequently where I'm like, I had no clue that was a thing. But yeah, in general, people are involved in different things. So it's really surprising to just hear like, oh, you're in the improv comedy group on campus, or just, people have some really surprising things and talents hidden away. So, and if you interact with them in just like the classroom setting or something like that, it's just really like, it's really easy to just see them as like, oh, they're this kind of person. And then of course, I feel like a lot of our students are just very barrier breaking, so they're involved in a lot of different things. So yeah.
And Justin, same question to you.
Yeah, and my answer is going to be very similar. I just think the intersection of our students' identities, where you can be, I know we have a student that's a football player and he's also a music major and an opera singer. And I mean, how cool is it that you can be, on the athletic field and then on the stage in the same day, like performing in both of the ways that you like to, that just are your passion and you get to fulfill that here and share that with others. I also want to comment on one thing that I wasn't surprised about people this year, and that was our our students' resiliency and their like absolute flexibility when things had to change suddenly. Our students were so adept and quick to just make it work, and we all had to kind of come together as a community, and I was just really impressed by that. So it wasn't a surprise, but it was more of a collaboration, I think.
I want to get to this question that was emailed in for you, Diana. How do you get the internship opportunities? How does the College of Idaho help me get those?
Great question. I am actually participating in a marketing internship in downtown Boise currently with a local broker company. And I would not have that opportunity had it not been for Dr. Mel, who is one of the main marketing professors that we have here on campus. It is required for my major for marketing and digital media. But basically, she had reached out to me after a class. Well, I think she was like, "Hey, Diana, if you have time and you want to talk to me after class, that would be great." So I was like, "Yeah, of course I have time for you, Dr. Mel." She's great, by the way. And she was like, "Yeah, so we had there's a local company looking for a marketing intern, and they had taken on one of our College of Idaho students before as an intern, and they really enjoyed like the quality of student that they got from there, just like the quality of work that the intern was able to put in. So they were asking if I had anybody else in mind. And of course, I think Dr. Danielson also talked about this, but literally professors will be like, "Hey, somebody had an internship opportunity for me." They were like, "Do you know anybody?" And I thought of you, and I thought you would be a really good fit. So that's just kind of like what happened in my instance. But there are also, we have our HIP, so high impact practices. So they're also going to be able to connect you with internships in areas that you're interested in. Basically, of course, you do have to have that interest out there to start with. It's good to be passionate about what you're going to intern in, but you can be connected to it by a professor who personally recommends you, or you can kind of seek out that opportunity for yourself. And of course, I'm pretty sure your professors will support you in those endeavors as well.
Yeah, it's very much a focus of getting those practices and those internship opportunities for all of our students before they leave here. So great answer, Diana. Thank you for that. We want to hear from another student on video. This time, it's a current student who is involved in many activities. You've heard that theme here, such as athletics, student government, and well, he also plans on being one of the 85% of our students who are accepted into medical school.
I chose the College of Idaho because I had an experience with the personnel or the representatives at a college fair my junior year. As my senior year came about, and I kept thinking about what the College of Idaho had to offer with the PEAK program and then the success rate in the pre-med program, and I figured this is the best place for me. What I enjoy the most about the College of Idaho is I can have if I have 10 problems going on in my life, I can get 10 responses back in half an hour. That's the beauty and the blessing of the College of Idaho, is that the professors are so connected to their students, because we don't have classes with 600 people in them or 3,000 people in them or even 100 people of them. Wherever one's going, you have to make an impact. You have to make a mark. You don't want to walk into a building and just be a person there. You want to be someone that people enjoy being around. The College of Idaho has more people who are trying to be role models in this community, who are trying to be leaders in this community than any other campus I've seen in the state. So when I hear social mobility, I think of problem solvers. I think of people that have gone through a difficult, strenuous task for 40 years, and they've come out on top because of all the resources that College of Idaho provides. And then you're able to then be further along than your family, or whether it was before you went to C of I, you were worth X, now you're worth Y. That's why C of I, it makes you stand out of a crowd. That's why 80 to 85% of these students are succeeding after taking their MCAT one time and going through the interview process once and then getting into the school that they want. So that's the route that I took, or the thought process I did when choosing College of Idaho.
And welcome back to Caldwell. We have an emailed question in that we want to tag team with Linda and Diana here. When do we have to decide the major and minors? I mean, there's so many of them. When do those need to be decided?
That's a great question. We encourage students to make a decision at least about the major within their first year, because we like to have students transition from our first year advisors to a faculty advisor their first year here at the college. Of course, that can change. So what we encourage students to think about is choosing majors and minors that they're perhaps interested in or they'd like to pursue. And perhaps a minor will be promoted to a major in their second or third year, or perhaps their major will be demoted to the minor later on, depending on how things change, or maybe they'll completely change programs altogether. What do you think, Diana?
I think that, yeah, I completely agree with what you said. It's really not just like a concrete thing where it's just like, oh, I declared this halfway through my freshman year and now I'm stuck with this until I graduate. Our PEAK program is super fluid. I added my art and design major, I think, halfway through my sophomore year to double major. I knew someone who added like a creative writing major, like literally like their junior year, and they were still able to graduate with that huge major switch. But it's really like, it's just to kind of set a path for you as you keep going through. So at least, you know, you're taking classes, and if you decide like probably like junior year that you're like, okay, super passionate about this, you can end up changing that track. But yeah, it's not super concrete. We will ask that like you fill something out like halfway through freshman year just for papers and, you know, advisor switches and everything like that. But it's definitely, you know, not a super concrete thing. So don't be scared about the finality of everything, because it's very, very fluid.
Great, thanks both of you. If your question, or if you still have a question, if your question didn't get answered or you have other questions, we have a whole staff of admission counselors who are accessible and ready and willing to answer your questions. Some of you might even be hearing from them later today. I do want to draw your attention to some contact information for members of our community, our campus community, who are more than happy to answer as well any of those follow-up questions prior to your arrival in August. This information is also going to be shared with you following the presentation as well. So if you don't catch it all right now, that's fine. It'll be sent to you. Don't forget, if you scheduled a virtual meeting with one of our financial aid staff, those appointments are beginning at 1 o'clock Mountain Time, so that's about an hour from now. Those will be starting and going on for about a 3-hour session this afternoon for different appointment times. So those are also still coming up. Finally, as we close out today, we do have a walking video tour of campus from Meg Osterhout, who's a recent graduate from our Master's in Education program, and it's on our YouTube channel. We will provide you the link here as soon as we're finished, but you can also always find that video and many, many others on the college's YouTube channel, which is Go Yotes. So you can see all those there, and it's also linked on our main webpage as well, collegeofidaho.edu. So there's a couple different places where you can find those. We're going to provide the link for you coming up here in just a minute as well. But before that, for Linda and for Diana and for Justin and myself, Joe, and all of our fine people behind the scenes and our admission staff, we're just so thankful that you took the time to join us and learn more about the College of Idaho. We hope to be seeing you here very, very shortly. And until then, go Yotes.